This is Joe Leigh here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by Raven Chapman. Not long to
Hi,
go,
Joe.
man. You've got a good fight coming up, obviously in your fourth fight. Exciting
Yeah,
times. First things first, how are you?
good. I'm very good. Thank you, Joe. Really excited. Just yeah, full swing of training camp now. So body's hurting a little bit, but I love being in fight camp. It just the intensity, everything else is so much more. You've got a goal in mind, so everything's a lot more like you're on it. And it's exciting. So yeah, and just feeling really good at the minute.
Yeah, I was obviously there at your last fight. The only woman under Queensbury Promotions fighting at York Hall, your last fight was. Just talk to us about that experience. First of all, being obviously the only female fighter for Queensbury, but that whole night, what did that mean to you?
Yeah, it was great. I was really glad to, get the first fight with Queensbury like underway and like under my belt. And yeah, just it was just a great experience. I was really like everyone looked after me really well, I felt really supported as a fighter on a stable. Um and it was, yeah, I did feel a little bit like underwhelmed because it was over so quick, if you get what I mean. Not
Yeah.
underwhelmed, but like it was kind of like, oh, is that it? Like, get another opponent. I'll go in again tonight. But at the same time, what better way to make my statement for Frank Warren and getting a stoppage like that. So yeah, I really enjoyed the whole experience, and the whole night was just, yeah, it was fun. And now I've got the next one all like locked in,
Yeah.
confirmed, and it's exciting. It's going to be a big one.
That's on one of BT's biggest cards. Joyce Parker in Manchester AO Arena.
Yeah,
So you can already tell, not that it wasn't I guess obvious when you were signed as the only woman, that you wouldn't be on these big cards. We kind of expect this, but now you're on,
yeah,
yeah, what looks like one of their biggest cards for a long time. Um,
yeah.
yeah, talk to us about
Yeah, it's crazy. Like thinking about it is quite surreal. Obviously,
that.
I got like all the ticket info through the other day. I was like, bloody hell! Like you just realize how big that arena is going to
Yeah.
be. And the fight I've got, uh, I'm going for a title as well, so it'll be pretty high up on the bill. I assume so. It's crazy, and it's just so exciting. Like I say, like with that goal in mind, like that focus, that just gonna take in the whole experience and enjoy it. Hopefully win my first title as a pro and just take it in as it all comes to me. And yeah, just can't wait to get in there. And like I say, it's sort of going to be on a big card, one of their biggest cards in a while. I'm their only female in their stable, so obviously would like to go and win a title with a bang as well.
Yeah, definitely. Jorgelini Granini is a tough operator. She's been in there with Ellie Scottney, Rachel Ball.
Yeah.
I know she was in there with Stevie Levy as well. Um, what do you know about her? How much do you rate her as someone who you're going to be fighting for this title against?
Yeah, you can't underestimate anyone. Not obviously, we saw Ellie's fight. She gave Ellie a hard time, and she beat Stevie as well. And these are good fighters. Especially Ellie. I'd say Ellie is like one of the best super
Mm,
bantams out there in the world at the moment. Um, so you can't underestimate her. She's game as anything. She's gonna come. She's got a big heart. She'll want to win, but she's never been stopped before. So not that we're going to go out and look for a stoppage, but it's something that's in my mind. I've got two out of my three fight stoppages so far, and I know I hit hard, and she's there to be hit because she just wants to be on your chest. So I
yeah.
think that'll work for me and my strengths.
Yeah, definitely. She's never been stopped though.
No, I know exactly. That's why I want to make that big statement.
I'm sure that's what Frank will like to hear, and it's a good
Yeah,
card as well. So if you put on that
yeah,
kind of performance,
that's it. And I know it's going to be a really entertaining fight for the fans because of her style and my style. I think it'll mix really well. She doesn't like to take a back foot. I'm happy to box and trade, so I think it's going to be fun. I think we might steal the limelight from some of the lads on that show for sure.
No, that's good to hear. Now obviously in your own stable, being the only woman is gonna be very, very beneficial, as we can see with you being on this card.
Yeah.
I just want to get your thoughts on the Savannah Marshall, Claressa Shields. Obviously, that's an all-female card, first one in the UK.
Yeah.
Like what you think of that in terms of women's boxing, etc.
I think it just shows like how far we've come now, like the amount of interest that there has been in that card and the amount of decent boxers that are also now, you know, just been announced that are going to be boxing on the undercard. So it's going to be a really exciting show, and it'll be really interesting to see the feedback from it. And yeah, I think, like I said, there's a lot of interest, and it just goes to show how far it's coming and will continue to go. Because I think as well, like the women, we always give it all. You don't like it can be a fast trajectory, so you're not necessarily always against, you know, an easy fighter.
Yeah.
You can get pushed quite quickly, so you're in pretty competitive fight straight away. So I think in that sense, it's just that's why people find it so exciting.
Yeah, for sure. Now I've got a tricky question for you, Raven. Obviously, it's a selfish business. And
Yeah.
it'd be nice to be, for example, if you weren't with VT on Sky and on an all-female card. But what would you rather, being the only person on the stable and it's all centered around you, or being able to flourish on a card like on September?
I think because I'm on like such a big card myself, I think it would be different if I was, say, put on another prospect show. If I was put on another prospect show, it might have been a bit frustrating. You know, I'm your only female for a reason, like get me out there. But that's exactly what they're doing. So in that sense, I think I'll probably have more eyes on me because I'm the only one.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, if you know, if you'd rather, like, if you had the choice to be on the Marshall Shields card or yeah, on, let's say,
Yeah.
the Parker Joyce, would you rather be the only woman in the stable?
Yeah, definitely. Just I think it gives you a lot more of a platform. You don't get lost under anyone else. And but at the same time, you know, if I'm on such a card like the Joyce and Parker, I know it's meant to be a pretty stacked undercard as well. So there's still going to be a lot of big fights on the undercard of that. So I think either way, whether you're on a normal card with men and women or an all women's one, there's the potential of sort of going under the radar a little bit. But I think you just have that little edge by being the only female on the card. Not to say
Definitely.
that, like, again, it's not exciting to be on an all female card because that's history making, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. I think from a selfish point, it just being the only
Yeah.
it's a good thing. But just quickly on the main event, just how do you see that? The Joyce
On which
Parker.
one, the female card or
We'll
Joyce
start with
Parker?
the
So I
female
think,
then. We'll start with the female
okay.
and then Joyce Parker.
So me and my coach we're both like on differing views. I think I personally think Savannah Marshall, I think she's too strong. And obviously as a pro as well under Peter Fury and stuff, she's like flourished in that kind of style, and you know she's definitely pound for pound one of the best female pros out there. But Claressa, so my coach thinks Claressa will win because her head movement and her movement's too good, so she won't get hit with those big shots. So I do think it's a 50-50 fight, and I think you end up going with the kind of style you prefer. I prefer that kind of pressure, break them down and get them out of there, which is exactly what Savannah does to her opponents. But Marshall does have that really, Claressa does have that really like slick ability and great head movement. You know, one of the best head movement of the females. So again, it just depends on what style you prefer, I think. So it's going to be exciting either way.
Yeah, it's a great fight, and then obviously another really, really good fight. Joyce Parker,
Yeah.
obviously, different to calls, difficult to call as well. How do you see
Yeah.
that one?
Yeah, it's a difficult one, but I think Joyce is just so awkward. Like to look at him, he looks very basic, but you know, he's obviously very strong. And even when you see with the Dubois fight, his jab is so pin straight, like it's hard to read in a way. So I think Parker's going to have a lot of trouble trying to get through Joyce, and he's just made of granite. So I don't see Parker hurting Joyce. If he plays it safe, he could maybe box his way to a points win, but I don't see Joyce allowing that to happen. So I'd put my money on Joyce for a stoppage if he's going to win. If it goes to points, I imagine Parker would be able to outbox Joyce though.
Yeah, no, it's going to be it's a good end to the year for boxing, obviously.
Yeah.
Ben Eubank announced now as well, but it was good to
Yeah.
catch up. Thanks for doing this. Obviously,
yeah, thanks for having me on, Joe.
Times. No problem.
Yeah.
Do we feel like you can get out again after September?
Yeah, I hope so. Especially once I have that belt around my waist. And then push on for what's next. I hope to get out before the end of the year, November, December time. We'll see what happens.
Okay, thanks so much. Cheers, Raven.
Cheers. Bye.